YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Zippo Enthusiast Down Under here, and today I'm just sort of doing a review and a comparison, I guess, on Zippo style lighters. I will sort of go through these in my order of when I've purchased them or when I've received them, and we're going to be looking at the cases, the cam, and the insert really. And I've got a magnet here to try and find out what some of these things are made out of. First of all, I'll go into the Zippo that I got from my dad probably 15 or more years ago. Now this is a genuine Zippo, has the upside down stamp, made in April of 95. Now this has got a brass case and a steel insert, and this has recently been repaired. You can see it's got a roll pin in there. It's basically a pin that's bigger than the hole. As you push it in, it kind of crushes and fits perfectly, I guess. So, first of all, seeing that this is a brass case, you can't really tell, but I guess you'll have to take my word for it. But that is not magnetic, you know, brass, not magnetic. Steel, definitely magnetic. Now, the cases are quite strong. You know, they don't have a lot of flex in them. The inserts also. When you do have a Zippo or a Zippo style lighter that has a relatively tight insert, you'll notice that you kind of got to squeeze the top to pull it out. Now, these are pretty strong. You know, they're made out of a bit of a thicker material or a better quality steel. And my experience too is that whatever cotton or the rayon that comes in these versus something like this is a Cantai lighter. This is just some cheap $4 thing that I got off eBay. It was like a lucky dip. You buy a lighter, you don't know what design it is. But I was interested to see, just to compare for myself. This here is a star lighter that I bought from my local tobacconist, and it was $40 Australian, but it came with a cigarette tin, and it actually came in like a really nice sort of velvet box with like a faux leather case, I guess. It was actually a really nice box. I did end up buying a second one just to sort of keep one in good nick, because these do scratch up very well. But back to the Zippo. You know, they do have very... Oh, this is an older one too, so it's got a flat insert. It doesn't have the little hump there like that the more recent models do. It's designed to hold it in the case better, but it doesn't really do the trick amazingly. And this one, it does have a tight lid because of the repair. But let's just listen to the sound that the genuine Zippo makes. It sounds like quality, that, you know, it sounds good. We'll move on to this. This is a Cantai. It's kind of it's a Chinese brand. And I'm not entirely sure what this is made out of, to be honest, but I've done all sorts of stuff to this. Like, it was a very brassy looking color when I first got it, but it does... Oh, I'm not sure if it's copper. Like, it has a really strong smell to it, the metal. Kind of like an old copper coin does, you know. It hasn't got that real browny color to it. But I have tried things to this, you know. I've dipped it in vinegar to try and, you know, get a real good sort of tarnish going on it, and it worked. It did go very brown, but, you know, I sort of got a wire brush out and scratched it all off. You know, it's just sort of been my experiment lighter, one that I do tricks with. And we'll just sort of compare its sound to the Zippo now. It sounds cheaper, like, and it closes harder, but it's like a slap sound instead of like a click. So it's kind of weird. It does have like a much weaker sounding ping, but the cam spring in this has sort of really loosened off over time. You can see that this is pretty dirty. I've used it a fair bit. It was like my cheap, don't worry about it, use it every day, doesn't matter if I lose it or whatever, but I've had it for so long now that I sort of do want to keep it. So I have engraved stuff into it. It's my initials, a little number down there. But you know, it still has like a Zippo, 5-barrel hinge. This thing actually, it had 0 play in it earlier this year. Like, I haven't been using this for a long time. I did use it when I first got it. This was about $12. I bought at a one of those little Chinese stalls at the markets. But you can see that the lid kind of doesn't close very well. Like, it's not a good cut. It doesn't match the case. That little hole there sort of developed when I put it in the salt and vinegar sort of solution to try and tarnish it. Like, it ate some of it away, and it also did the same down in this engraving. You can see it's quite deep in that spot there and at the bottom of the 2. So I'm not sure what this is made out of. But back to the inserts, like, this is much weaker and softer than the Zippo one. Like, whether it's, you know, some sort of other material, or if it's just lower quality, it's thinner, I couldn't tell you. Hold on, I've got to take it off camera to get the insert out. It is a bit tight. That's really stuck in there. Okay, having a little bit of trouble getting that out. I'm actually I'll show you as a trick to get out a tight or a seized insert as well. I might actually have the little bag trick sitting in this thing that I've used to try and save it fuel, alongside with I have changed the cotton to a organic, cleanly produced sort of cotton. So the trick I've got here is just basically an Allen key. Stick it through the tops of the or the holes of the chimney. Grab it either side. Yeah, that was really tight. That was the bag. That's been in there for a long time too, so that might have something to do with it. But that's the best way to get it out without having to squeeze it and crush the top of this. Like, this has been squeezed a bit. But yeah, like I said, I'm not too worried about it. It does have like a really weak cam spring, and that developed really quickly. So, you know, that's just one of the differences. Like, that's why this is a better quality thing, the Zippo. I'll pull the insert back out and show you guys. And this is old too, but it definitely snaps shut, unlike this Cantai generic one. You know, it just sounds dull. It sounds a lot cheaper. Now, this is still magnetic, so it's still some sort of a steel, I guess. But the case, once again, I don't know what this is made out of. You know, but it was good. You know, if you want a Zippo style lighter on the cheap, you do happen to find a Cantai lighter, whether it be at some sort of a market or a stall or online. And once again, listen to it, it's really lost its tension. You know, it still works. It's still a decent lighter. This also, sorry, because I'm going to get to this one here. It still has the same sort of style flint wheel as a Zippo, which is good. I've found that these don't really eat up the flints too quickly. Alright, so I'll move on to this other. This is like a no brand. It was $4 off eBay, free shipping. I didn't pick this design, though I don't mind it. It was just like a lucky dip. You bought a lighter, it just came. Whatever the design was is what you dealt with. Now Now this thing has seen minimal use. Like I have used it, I have cleaned it up, but it has been used. It has seen very minimal use. Once again, it just does not sound like the Zippo quality. It's closer to this, but the cam spring hasn't lost its tension as much yet. You know, it's still not bad. And yeah, once again, the flint wheel is similar. Doesn't chew up the flint too quickly. I have found though that these Chinese ones, the cotton, whatever's in them, does not hold as much fluid. It doesn't last as long. Whether that comes down to the size of the rivet in the top that holds the wick and the cam spring, whether it's got like a bigger hole and it lets more fluid out, I'm not too sure. This one's hard to tell. That one looks pretty good actually, but this one is, you can tell like this is a cheaper thing. Even look at the cam, it's sort of, I don't know, not that same quality. Once again, pretty sure the insert is some sort of cheapy steel. But the case this time is also some sort of a steel. Mind you, it is like a very, this is really light, like it doesn't weigh anything. It feels really weak and flimsy. This is actually pretty solid. This is heavier than the Zippo one, like noticeably. I haven't got scales with me to really get into the weights of them, but this, probably just down to the whatever's plated on the front of it. I don't know if that's like part of the surface, whether it's been machined or glued on or something. Like it's got engravings and like a raised edge. But this is noticeably heavier. I'll just put these back all together so I don't get them confused. And we'll move on to the star lighter. Now, this thing is heavy too, but even with the insert in this, it is noticeably heavier, but it is bigger. You can see it's a little bit taller. It's a little bit wider. They all sort of use this 5-barrel hinge here and the same sort of welding technique. This one you can't see the welding technique, but it is the same. You can tell on the inside of it. But this is actually really good quality, and like it has next to no movement in the hinge with the lid. It's sort of like a knock, but it's not super visible. And that is just from my use. It was tight when I got it. Like it's still flung open all the way. It's not like this thing is, how it sort of stops halfway because it's that tight. This one does have play in it. Mind you, it is still sort of better than most of the Zippos that you get brand new these days as well. But this here, I actually really like this lighter, and a little bit of crap came out of the insert there. It looks like it's brass or copper as well. Once again, it's not magnetic. The insert still is made out of steel. And this is actually like, the strength of this insert is probably on par with the Zippo. The cam spring's pretty strong. It does use a different hole pattern design on the chimney though, which, you know, it's interesting. And you can see, yeah, this thing's filthy. Like, it took about 2 weeks for this lighter with that sort of a straight cut flint wheel to chew through the original flint. I have got a Zippo one in there in the moment, like a genuine Zippo flint, and it does seem to be lasting a bit longer, but I can guarantee you, like, look at all the stuff on the inside of there. It's not just like fluid and like soot from the flame, that's little bits of the flint, you know, so it really chews up the flints, this wheel, which is the only real downside of this lighter. Otherwise it's pretty good. And you can see it is a branded insert as well, unlike the other two that are just generic. All it has is the usual safety warning, no branding at all. This also does have some sort of cheaper, dodgy, I guess, cotton on the inside. Doesn't last as long as the genuine Zippo ones, or this now that I've changed it to that higher wicking organic cotton. Something has happened to this since I've put it away for a few weeks though. All of that, I don't know if it's like, there's some sort of a reaction happening inside of this, I think, whether it's because of fluid or something to do with the insert rusting or something. Might just be bits of metal scraping off it. Maybe this is a lower quality and I just sort of haven't used it that well enough. Like, I've used it pretty well, but I haven't pulled it in and out of there a million times, you know, so I've probably filled this up 3 or 4 times in the time I've had it. But it's pretty good. Now, it is expensive for not a Zippo, but it is still like a genuinely branded. And it says Star Lighters USA, but right next to it says made in China, you know, so $40 for this probably was more than I should have paid. But it came with this, and I was sick of looking at the health warning signs and stuff on the smoke packs. It's got little spring-loaded retainers, you know, and they're stronger when it's closed. It works on a little spring on the hinge in there. This is actually pretty good. I really like this. Stops your smokes from getting crushed or wet if it's raining. So, we'll look back at the lighter. Now this has a good snap on the return, but it does have that kind of dull, hollow ping when you open it. I'm not sure what you can get these for separately from the gift box with the cigarette tin. But, you know, it is a very good entry lighter. It's better than buying some $4 crap off eBay. Like this thing, it's just, I mean, it's not bad. If you only want to spend $4 on a lighter, jump on eBay, find some cheap, unbranded Chinese thing like this, give them a spin. You're not going to get the same fluid life out of it though, because they do have some really cheap, nasty cotton on the inside. But if you go buy some higher wicking organic cotton, that will do the trick. If you do though, make sure you're looking for something that is, you know, it's natural and it hasn't got pesticides in it, because I've done some research on cotton and it's one of the most heavily pesticided grown things, you know, that you can get. So, you know, smoking's already not good for you if you're using it to light cigarettes. I can't really imagine that the fuel vapor that you do get a little bit through when you first light the smoke is good for you either. So something that's got pesticides in it is just adding to the unhealthiness of it, I guess. So that is definitely something to keep in mind and to try and avoid if possible. Like, this is the best quality you can get, a Zippo lighter. I've tried a few. This is the best. This would be the second best, and it is still nice, like little laser engraved design on there. And here, it's got a nice weight to it. It's very sturdy. I feel like it's like an armor, like it's got a thick case. You can kind of just see that there. Oh, it doesn't show up as much on camera, but it is definitely a thicker case. So, and being bigger, it's got some weight to it. Like, it feels, just holding it, it feels like it's probably a higher quality. Like, it's not, but it does feel pretty nice to hold on to still. But yeah, that's just my run through genuine Zippo versus other things. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see any more of this, make sure you leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to catch anything that's coming out in the future. And also go back and check out some of my other videos. I've got some pretty helpful information there, some interesting facts. And I guess that's it for this video today. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hopefully see you in the next one.